Malta is in the EU, connected to the world's economies, and yet has been relatively unscathed by recent events. I guess the question is, how?
It's a good question. It definitely is not one issue. However, it is a combination of factors, primarily driven, I would say, by three main factors. One of them is the macroeconomic policies that the government has adopted. The IMF have in fact recognized the efforts being put by government in order to guide Malta through this important phase. Second, also very important factor is the level of public debt. Comparatively speaking, Malta is doing very well when compared to our neighbors, to our EU neighbors. I have to say that our level of debt is manageable. Yes, it is not the desirable, but it is manageable, and government's efforts and emphasis are going forward in the medium to long term to balance its books. The third and even more important is the type of banking business that we do in Malta. Basically, we have a very conservative business model. We still depend very much on the retail side of our business. We have managed to continue to retain our deposits, our retail deposits, and increase our deposits during this crisis. And that has helped the banking system, including Bank of Valletta, which is a major player, as you are very much aware, in the Maltese economy. And as I said, the reports that are issued both by the EU Commission as well as by the IMF commended Malta for the policies adopted, but also obviously telling us, listen, be careful that we're not out of the woods yet, and therefore we have to continue to work on these three main areas so as to continue to grow the business in a sustainable manner.
Bank of Valletta is the largest provider of financial services in Malta. So how would you summarize the bank's role in supporting the economy?
It's true, Bank of Valletta is the largest financial institution in Malta. In fact, our foothold is about half of the economy, so on both sides of our balance sheet, both the asset and liability side. Naturally, the implications of that is that we need to continue to support the growth areas, as I've said already. We need to continue to support the growth sectors within the economy, but at the same time, without disregarding the traditional economy, the industries which are not doing extremely well, or which is in the shadow for the time being. And it is very important for us that we continue to support and sustain the Maltese economy in a responsible manner.
SMEs are especially important customers for the bank. How do you work with them in developing their businesses?
If you look at the Maltese economy, it is based on SMEs. I would say 90%, over 90% of our corporate clients, of our business clients, are small to medium-sized enterprises. We have been offering, together with the European Investment Fund for the last few years, a financial package, a specific financial package called Jeremy, which is aimed primarily at assisting financing for the SMEs in their business, both for research and development, for investments in their business, for internationalizing their business, for finding new markets internationally. But even more so, we do recognize that there are other opportunities within Malta and internationally. And in order to be able to address this, Bank of Valletta has set up, in the last month in fact, we've set up a new business development unit to be able to work with these SMEs to source out new opportunities in Europe, new funding opportunities within the EU, and there we will act as their catalyst for them to grow internationally. Because if these companies can source business outside, then I'm sure they will be successful. And our EU Business Development Unit is precisely there to serve as an assistance for them to identify these opportunities.
So to summarize, what challenges and indeed opportunities do you see ahead for Bank of Valletta?
In this day and age, with the economic scenario as it is, obviously there are significant changes to be had, even for us. As I said, the bulk of Bank of Valletta's business is intrinsically tied with the Maltese economy. We have modeled our bank in order to be able to build on the relationships that we have managed to gain along the years with our clients, both on the retail side as well as on the corporate side. So the relationship banking model that the bank has adopted is paying its dividends. it is not our intention to grow the business internationally by acquiring other financial institutions. And the internationalization process for Bank of Valletta is precisely in helping Malta grow as a financial services jurisdiction. And by doing so, we will grow internationally. The bank needs to continue to invest in the Maltese community, needs to continue to sustain the business of our Maltese companies, SMEs primarily, in order to be able to grow in a responsible manner.
Charles Borg, thank you very much.